Hi everyone, this is Freddie with Superbike Unlimited, and we are going to bring you another update on the 2021 Kawasaki ZX-10RR. We have just finished doing some break-in on the dyno. We've done our standard procedure that we always do with a brand new motorcycle, and the engine is ready to do some full throttle pulls, and we're going to see exactly how much power this thing makes. I've seen some numbers out there, and I have a feeling that it's going to be underwhelming because it's, you know, the big thing is that it's built to a new emission standard, and as a result you just can't expect a lot of power. So without further ado, we're going to run this thing on the dyno, do a few pulls, show you what it looks and sounds like. I'll give you some feedback on the impressions and things I've noticed right away, and we'll see how much power it makes. Okay, so we're getting ready to do this pull, and I want to go ahead and apologize, but we're not going to be able to give you torque and stock trim, and I want to show you why. As a lot of you know, the new generation of probably almost every sport bike that we see coming into the US is going to have a different type of ECU security standard. And what that means is basically they're a lot harder to flash. You know, something that we do a lot of here is ECU tuning. We're actually the leading Japanese ECU tuner in the USA. And what we're seeing is, like on the 2020 R1, we simply can't do it yet. I think it's, you know, it's coming along sometime, but when, it's hard to say. But right now it's simply not possible. This ECU is brand new, and it's for a lot of the same reasons. They've implemented new security standards and protocols to make them very difficult to flash. And so with that, we have a brand new ECU, and you can see this is it here, and it has these OEM style connectors that we often see in the automotive world. Matter of fact, we built a twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan and did a bunch of cool stuff with that some time ago that if you're interested in, we can give you some info. But anyway, we've seen these connectors a lot in the car world, and basically it's really a pain in the ass to try to get to an RPM signal wire with these hard plastic covers over the ECU connector. It's almost impossible. So, and unfortunately, getting to a coil on this is also very difficult. You can kind of see there's just no easy access here. So for now, for the sake of getting this video to you guys quickly so you can see what this thing makes, we're not going to be able to provide RPM, which is how we calculate torque. So there's going to be no torque, just horsepower. It's kind of annoying, but we'll definitely have an opportunity to get torque later on, and we'll try to do, when we build this thing properly, we'll try to make sure that we do a comparison with the same gearing so that we can do a direct overlay on the dyno. But anyway, just wanted to explain that. So anyway, now we're going to do a pull. We'll see how much power this thing makes. Stay tuned. Okay, so that's a wrap. We've done a couple of pulls. Actually, we've done several, and we're just going to show you the last two, which were the best. And we are making 167 horsepower very consistently. And as you can see, the fueling is not crazy. It's pretty, actually pretty conservative. It's not as lean as we often see them. However, we can also tell that the bike is heavily restricted, probably from around 11 grand, which seems to be about right here. The power just kind of falls on its face. You know, it's losing power as it revs, which realistically this engine should continue to build. And this is a good, I'm glad we're able to compare this, because I want to again point out the importance of not putting a ton of stock in what somebody's dyno reads, because We've already heard of people with base model ZX-10Rs that are stock just like this one, making 180 horsepower and stuff like that. Obviously this is a double R that's got much lighter rods and pistons and a better cylinder head and et cetera, and we're seeing that it's making, you know, 167 horsepower. So don't believe everything you hear when it comes to dynos, and it's not necessarily that those people are being misleading, but we see especially guys with older dynos, they just read really high sometimes, you know, 20 plus horsepower on liter bikes. So anyway, back to what we're focusing on. What we're going to be doing with this next is we're going to basically tear this motorcycle down. We're going to adapt our Motec M1 harness that we have from the previous generation ZX-10R. We're going to adapt it to fit this bike. It's going to require just a few modifications, specifically because of the new throttle and a couple other odds and ends. And we're also going to update some things. And we're going to transform this motorcycle into a full super bike. Be really interesting to see how much power it makes properly tuned with a full system and none of this restriction stuff in place. So it's probably going to pick up a good, certainly at least 25 horsepower. I would think probably 30 plus, but I don't want to get too optimistic. But I would love if we could get this thing to break 200 horsepower on pump gas with a really good tune. That would be a big step for Kawasaki, and with it being a big improved platform, the engine having a lot of enhancements from the previous generation, I think it's possible. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this one. It's a super short video. I'm sorry we don't have more content to provide you for on the motorcycle right now, but we wanted to at least show you how much it makes on the dyno and give you an idea of what's coming next. So once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.